first-person shooter that is on the way very soon.
For sure. If you played the first one, you'll know that it is a bizarre alternate future timeline wherein North Korea conquers America.
Yes. Yeah, I reviewed the first game, and the first game is widely criticized, I think a little bit unfairly. So the first game, it had a lot of great ideas in it. Single-player game was...
It was wanting. It had really great ideas.
That's a generous way to put it.
I'd say I disagree. I think the first game, like, it was really short.
Right. It was 3 hours long. I finished it in one sitting.
I really enjoyed.
Yes, I agree with you completely.
And I feel like, so what we're looking at here is one of the very early story missions in the game. You've basically just been recruited by the Resistance. You're talking to this guy, Parrish, who's sort of the interim leader because the main guy who's running the show can't be found. And they're basically like, we're bringing you on board, we're going to give you guns and stuff, and you're going to go help take back America.
Yeah.
And so it's very much a continuation of the first game in spirit, not necessarily a direct sequel.
Yeah, totally different developer. Unfortunately, the original developer has since closed down. Different publisher now. This game's been through hell, man.
And back. Honestly, I mean, I sat down with it for about 90 minutes to 2 hours the other day, and I had a lot of fun with it, I gotta say, you know, and like to know the journey that they've been on to get from A to B to now C, it is, you know, I mean, there's good parts, there's parts that I'm like intrigued to find more about, but it's really great to see that they've finally kind of come back. They're Rocky getting up off the mat, you know. Exactly. Exactly.
Cut me, Mick. Yeah. So first of all, it's, CryEngine. It looks super nice.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's beautiful.
So this I really love the lighting effects.
You're playing the PC version here.
Yeah. And
we're watching a recording of you playing probably badly. I have to guess.
You'll watch. We'll get into a firefight in a few minutes, and I'm not terrible, but it's very clear that I'm used to playing on a gamepad or a controller.
So this is set in Philadelphia.
Yeah, I actually just want to point out real quick, one of the things that I really like about this game is the quick swapping of weapons. So what I just did
that's totally what the heck was that game? Crysis. Did that with like the weapon mod
thing? So yeah,
thing?
you've got conversion kits. So like I just picked up a regular 9mm pistol and also picked up an SMG conversion kit. So I swap out the barrel and some of the mags, and now I've got a fully automatic sidearm. And you can do this with almost any weapon. If you want to pick up like an M4, you want a nice marksman rifle, that's totally cool. Or you can spend like, you know, a few bucks in in-game currency, get yourself a couple of add-ons for it, and all of a sudden, bam, you've got a fully loaded assault rifle.
Now, in this generation, this generation so far, John Ryan, has been, to me, as an old... I know the kids are ready to put me out to pasture. I'm old. I'm 35.
We're gonna old yeller you.
Right.
Out in the backyard.
No, Ma, he's my editor. I'll do it.
That'll be me in about 2 years.
So I have really always prefer a good single-player shooter. It can be a great multiplayer game. I still love Halo to death.
Oh, for sure.
And lots of stuff. But first-person shooters that have great single players, especially this generation, have been really hard to come by.
Yeah, and I think that, you know, obviously...
And that's what this is built around.
Yeah, I've only played a small portion of this game, and when I asked, I was told that it would be probably at least 30 hours.
What?
Right?
Really?
Well, so you'll see in a little bit once we get out into the open world. And that's the thing is, like, what I didn't really realize when I played the beta a couple of months ago is that this very much is an open-world game. Which, hopefully, once we see final builds, will actually, you know, pay off for us in a good way.
Yeah.
Because I like the idea of it. Basically, it's sort of it's similar to what you've seen in other games, you know, like Assassin's Creed or Far Cry, where it's like you've got to go... find spots that are controlled by the enemy. So you've got like green zones, which are like pretty much not neutral, but like you can move around pretty freely.
Yeah.
You've got yellow zones where like a bunch of guards are like on alert, but like you can sneak around if you want. And then there's red zones, which are like the front lines of the resistance fighting back against the NK army. And so you essentially have to go around to all those different areas, and depending on how severely occupied they are, you've got to, you know, complete various objectives, like, you know, like hacking into a radio broadcast so that you can send out anti-NK propaganda.
Yeah.
Or taking over key structural points so that you can provide infrastructure to the population that's still there. And basically,
what are you doing? Get out of this. Come on. Get back to the game, John Ryan.
I'm working on it. I'm sorry. Jeez. All right. I gotta put in my heretical PC controls.
My goodness.
He can help you hit the KPA transceiver.
So you've got to go around and complete these objectives, and once you complete these objectives, you'll be able to basically incite a full-scale revolution from all of the population. So I think it could be really interesting. Hopefully it's not going to become like in cases like The Division, where it's like, all right, we've got to go rescue this city neighborhood, and then you just end up doing the same side mission 5 times in a row.
Yeah.
It looks like I spent a little bit of time darting around the map, and it looks like there's a decent amount of diversity to the types of side missions and the types of activities that you'll have to do.
Yeah, I'll tell you an interesting story that's just as in the weird thing of sometimes our jobs are very interesting in a strange way. This game was first revealed at a pre-E3 judges event 2 years ago, which I was at. I played the vertical slice of this.
And how was that?
Before all the Crytek publisher shenanigans.
Right.
And what's very interesting is it's definitely retained much of the same spirit. It's still Philadelphia, it's still the same. But the slice I played, what I remember most about it was stunning. It was probably the most impressive I've ever seen the Cry engine. In particular.
Oh, this is great. I'm sorry, I hate to cut you off. I do want to point out this one section here. This is a function that they've added in. Obviously, they've added almost everything in the game in. Since the last one, but this is really cool. So, like around the city in certain locations, you'll find spots like this that are designed.
This is gonna be good.
To boop, dump explosives, piles of bricks and stuff all over your enemies. So you can very easily.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
So you can lay traps all over the place. Like if you. One of the great things is when you're running around exploring the open world. Like if you see like a convoy rolling your way, and you just kind of freak out because you don't really know what to do when you've got 6 APCs and like 12 dudes coming at you, and it's literally just you on your own 2 feet. You can either try and find a different way around and risk running into them again, or you can backtrack and try and find one of those ambush points.
Yeah.
Which makes
Molotovs.
Really
never go wrong there.
Never. I will say I love the fire and lighting effects. It looks real nice. But so it's really cool to see, especially when you're able to recruit other Resistance members to fight with you, how you can set and then spring those traps for the rest of the NK. I think that's going to be super cool. Hopefully it's something that's a little bit more widespread than just the slice that we checked out today.
Yeah, I really like this game on paper, and I want it to be good.
Me too.
When it comes out.
I haven't
played it yet. This is me watching you play is the close. I didn't have time.
Oh, bummer.
Plus, yeah, the beta was the co-op multiplayer thing, but which is the campaign, I believe, right? No.
So that is
thank you for correcting me.
That is a different mode. That is, I believe it's called either Resistance mode or I forget what the name of it was.
But it's co-op based, right? It's not
co-op based. It's similar to the open world-ish story missions.
Yeah.
But it's you 4 friends, and you essentially just have to undertake.
You and 3 friends.
You and 3 friends. You and 3 friends going on various missions together.
Okay.
So this is a little section of the map right here. If I pull back a little further, you can see that it's actually much, much bigger than that one tiny little slice. Oh, right, and I have a motorbike here.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, you get motorcycles. You can ride all over the place.
So this is, now, it's funny, the point I was going to make earlier was, you know, this is a different developer than the first game, and the real strength of the original Homefront was it had this vehicle,
they saw me.
very vehicle-based multiplayer, like
right.
a big-scale, vehicle-centric multiplayer mode. And these, I guess I wouldn't call it an irony, but I guess maybe on paper sad thing about Homefront The Revolution, different developer.
That's gone away.
There is no competitive multiplayer.
Not that I'm aware of it
whatsoever.
And as far as I know, there aren't.
But yeah, this, like, see here with the motorbike, and I know there is drone stuff, right, where you can drive around like little
you
RC
get, like,
cars.
RC cars and stuff. That returns from the first
There are
one.
at least little flavors of that vehicle stuff in this game.
I really loved the first game's multiplayer in the sense that it was like a combination of, because your infantry combat felt like a combination, like almost like Call of Duty, where it's very close quarters, very fast paced, but then you pulled back a little bit, and it felt somewhere between COD and like Battlefield.
Yeah, it really
as massive as Battlefield, but it was also not as close knit as.
And the first game, it was a while ago. I mean, I would almost make the argument that it was ahead of its time.
For sure.
The first Homefront.
So here, what we have to do is essentially you know, hack into a network, and then that will open up more of the map for us to explore. I'm playing on PC, and to be honest, this particular minigame on PC felt a little bit weird, but maybe it's just because I haven't used a mouse in a while, so I just failed.
Damn it, John Ryan.
I know.
You had one job!
I know. But so this is the sort of quick objectives that you'll see that will help you take over more and more of an area. 2011,
I just double-checked, was the first Homefront, so it's over 5 years now between Homefronts.
Yeah, and you know, to that point, like as much as I did love the multiplayer in the first one, I also really, really, really enjoyed my time in the beta. Leveling up, creating my own character, and you know, as you can see here, the world is opening up, and getting to explore a little bit of that, the sections of the world that they had opened up in the beta. Whether or not that remains an open world experience or not for like the multiplayer component of this, which I'm not sure whether or not it will. I don't really know much about how the multiplayer is going to work. But I'm interested to see where that goes and how it all works out.
You know what else? This is real quick before we wrap up. This is giving me a little bit of a vibe of Metro 2033.
For sure.
Like a sort of a little RPG tilt to it.
So when the first section of the game, like when you first actually get to take control of your character, honestly, when I first walked outside into the streets that are controlled by the North Korean army, it legit felt like when I walked out of the subway station in City 17 in Half-Life 2. Because it was just one of those moments of like, I know this land, I know what this is supposed to look like, none of this looks like it should. And not in the sense of like the design team goofed, but in the sense that they did such a good job where it's just immediately off-putting and very, 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 like, almost jarring to be inside.
Right.
Loud and clear.
So yeah.
So this is Homefront The Revolution. It's out in May. Like I said, I really want this to be good. I'm looking forward to digging into it.
For sure.
There are a number of really good games out in May, and this is hopefully going to be one of those very good games.
Yeah,
hopefully they're all going to be very good games.
Fingers crossed.
But yeah, got my fingers crossed for this one.
Yeah, I'll be looking forward to this one for sure.
If you
Especially
like me,
when I'm collecting all these items.
Yeah, if like me you've been missing a good single-player first-person shooter this generation, this one is for you. So for much more on Homefront The Revolution, including our review coming up very soon right here on IGN.